Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Shannon Keegren with Boise State Softball. Summer in Idaho is the best time of year. Rodeos, camping trips, and the hikes that end in views you'll never forget. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're here to get you there. With a team known for incredible customer service, the best new and pre-owned inventory, and a commitment to making your experience easy, friendly, and fast. But here's the best part. Every purchase here helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnerships and athletic sponsorships. See you soon at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? How we doing? Happy Tuesday, July 28th to you here at Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. My name is BJ Rains. We're in the Sun Cruiser Studios. Pick up a Sun Cruiser at your local gas station or grocery store, whether it's those vodka iced teas, lemonade iced teas, so many flavors, vodka lemonades, screwing up all the flavors. There's so many of them, but love Sun Cruiser. Hope you will pick one up. Jay Tust going to join us. I'm going to send him a quick text. Make sure he knows we're live. I sent him the link. He'll be jumping on here momentarily. Appreciate Jay Tust. He's going to join us here in a second. But this is Bronco Nation News Live. Title sponsors, Lithia Ford of Boise. Appreciate everybody for checking this out. Billy, as always, first in line from Minnesota. We got Hunter from Boise listening at work. And listening from Boise, would love to hear about football today. If there's anything to talk about, fall is so close yet so far away. Plenty of football talk coming today. Don't worry, Hunter. And Luis, do I have a treat for you, man? We are playing your video today, Luis, and I helped you do some editing. You sent it vertical. I told you to send it horizontal, but I added a little extra memory from your video in the background to make it horizontal. So, yeah, listening on the freeway, appreciate you, man. So be careful, but we are going to play your video today, Luis, and it's a good one. So, all right, we got, let's see here, checking in from Honolulu. Sun doesn't rise until 6:03. That's another hour. Got to get that workout in. All right, you should still be sleeping, but appreciate you for jumping in at 6:03 in the morning out there in Hawaii for sure. Let's see here. NYC always in the house. Any chance of getting a non-alcoholic drink sponsor? Would love to. Yeah, we'll see if we can do that. We have 12 sponsors, I think, and 11 of them are non-alcoholic drinks. So I get it, not for everybody, but if you partake in that, great. If not, no worries, not at all. I know plenty of folks don't drink, but for those that do, that they're our studio sponsor right now, and we hope folks will take advantage of that. But we've got a lot of other great sponsors behind us that are not alcoholic sponsors at all. Let's see. Tried chiming in last week during work. Too busy. Was in the Woodlands, Texas last week. All right. So do it for Boise State from Las Vegas. So great show planned for you today. We're going to talk about the coaching staff at Boise State. There has been some turnover on the coaching staff, and whether or not that will be a positive to the team here in 2026. Nathan Carroll has an article. It's already up, or will be up momentarily at BroncoNationNews.com. The coaching staff, how some changes. We've talked about that, but the changes to the coaching staff, how will that impact things for the Broncos in 2026? We'll talk coaching staff today. And again, we do have our 40 and 40 video that we will play from Luis as well. So appreciate you guys always letting us know where you're watching from, and always appreciate you making part of this part of your day. And a week from now, guys, we'll be down getting ready, I guess, a week from tomorrow, down at Boise State for the first practice. We got the Starlink ready to go. We'll be activating that, and we'll be live. They're doing us a solid. The practices are going to be at 10 a.m., so we'll be able to do our normal show at 9 a.m. and then go right into practice at 10. So it's actually going to be perfect. We'll have our morning 9 a.m. shows out from the parking lot at Boise State, and we'll show you some interviews from previous days' interviews and practice, and talk about what we're seeing at practice, and then we'll go into practice and do that, and then have our interviews and everything. So going to be some full days with fall camp, but they did release the fall camp schedule yesterday, and that looks like the timing is going to work out perfect for us to continue to do our shows at 9 a.m. We'll have our special guest with us, and then of course we will have full coverage. And yes, practice already. Time is flying by. Yes, it is. How do we get a membership? Thanks. Well, Michael, you just go to BroncoNationNews.com, BroncoNationNews.com. Click the Join VIP button up in the upper right-hand corner. It's super easy. You can either pay every month, or if you want the discounted rate, you just go on there and take the annual rate, which is 50% off right now. So your first year is like half off. And then you get 50% off that first year. You pay one time. You're done for the year. You get all of our practice reports and inside info that we're hearing on who looks good at practice and things like that, and the message boards, and you get all kinds of other content. Nathan, analytical stuff. Chris just posted another recruit story. Cale Snyder, the 2027 quarterback commit. Chris just talked to him and posted that story yesterday, I believe. So I believe the full, it's a good question. It's like about, the full price is like $120. If you do $130, something like that, if you just pay it for 1 year, if you break it down, it's like, 10, 11, 12 bucks a month, something like that. It's really not that bad if you get down, but you do get a discount, I believe, if you just pony up and pay the whole amount. But if you do pay the $120, $130, whatever it is, something like that, then you get the Paramount Plus subscription included. So it ends up being like half the price or whatever. So that's a great one as well. But yeah, you can do that right now and get ready for fall camp next week at BroncoNationNews.com. Perry says, checking in from the west side of the Cascades, no smoke. that's good as well. And we bring on our man Jay Tust. And Jay, we got to get this smoke out of here by Friday for Banana Ball here.
Oh, you're telling me, man. Getting a little nervous about that here. I want to go watch some Banana Ball.
Yes, no doubt. Me too.
What day are you going? I'm sure you've said. Sorry, everybody. I'm a little late. Got a work call at the last second.
Nah, no worries. No worries.
You and all your viewers.
Because I'm super blessed, Jay.
You're going both.
Might be going both nights.
Ooh.
Might be taking one kid and his friends one night and the other kid and his friends the other night.
Okay.
Pulling a little dad thing here. But I do have my party animals. Got the hat ready to go here. So
okay.
As someone that's been to Banana Ball and waited in that line in the 100-degree heat to buy the overpriced merchandise, and then have to deal with taking it back to your car and all that, I just went online and booked it ahead of time. So
there you go. I just found out yesterday. We're gonna do Friday. So
nice.
I might actually have the Blue and Orange store here. Our good friends over there actually have some Banana Ball gear out.
Yes.
Blue and Orange store. So
they have the baseball and the blue shirts and some other stuff you can go get.
Yeah, so I might be making a trip over there now.
Now, my 9-year-old son Nelly is going to be rocking the sleeveless jersey here, Jay. He's got the big guns, so
let's go.
Be rocking the sleeveless party animal.
Okay.
Literally, all Nelly wears is jerseys, and he still wears the Savannah Bananas jersey from last summer like 3 times a week. Like he's the kid. Like you wash it and it's clean, but he still wants to wear it the very night of school. And I'm like, dude, you just wore that jersey yesterday. They're gonna think you don't have any other clothes. Pick something else. But he only likes to wear jerseys. So it's like 2 Cardinals jerseys and a Savannah Bananas jersey and an Ashton Genty jersey that he just rotates. So now we're gonna mix in I said we need a new jersey anyway. We'll mix in the party animals jersey for Friday. But,
he's built for the playground, man. Like always ready to go.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Gonna be fun, and yeah, it's my kids enjoy it, and we thought we won the lottery I think for Saturday, and then a very nice friend of ours got some tickets for Friday and couldn't go, and I bought them from him for Friday. So I figured why don't we let one kid take a few friends on Friday, one kid take a few friends on Saturday, and then this is correct, by the way. There is the merchandise will be available on Thursday out in the parking lot. I want to say like 12 to 3 or something like that. You can check the Banana Ball website, and but yes, they do have a pre-sale.
If you hit up Extra Mile too, Extra Mile's website, they have links and times and everything that you have right there. I know that you are a Banana Ball connoisseur. I know that
my kids are. I wouldn't say I am, but my kids are.
I don't know, man. I hear you talk about it, and I'm like, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I know that Nathan Burke and Company literally brought this here just because I wanted it, and I talked.
That's what it is. Yes. Hey, by the way, they're going to work on the blue, man.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We're going to be down there getting a tour of the north end zone, and I'm looking forward tomorrow to getting down there and peeking out and seeing what the field looks like.
Yeah, it's starting to come along. It's not pretty at the moment because they're just beginning, but you can start to see it all take shape of what it's going to look like. And it's
that right field porch, man, right up your alley for some BP there.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's going to be a spectacle. I think it's going to be a very memorable weekend on the blue. And I just go back, man. I just remember walking out of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live and going like, that was awesome. And if this was awesome, I can only imagine what Banana Ball is going to be.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to Banana Ball, pack a lunch. Like I said, go down there at 2:00 when it opens. We're going to actually get Nathan, I believe, on the show Thursday to kind of talk about some of this. But yeah, I would say get down there when it opens. It's going to be hot. It's a long day. Maybe go to the interviews, the player stuff, and then walk over to the James and eat or something, and then come back. But my built by Ford thing just fell down here, so I was like. Built to last, but not apparently to be leaned up against the my printer in the background. But I would say do the whole thing. That's when we went to the one in St. Louis. Literally, when the first pitch of the game started, I had lost 5 pounds from sweating and was exhausted and ready to leave. But it was it's a lot before the game itself, but there's stuff happening the entire time. And even when you get in there early, when the gates are open, there's stuff happening the whole time. It's a cool thing. So looking forward to it. It's another cool thing that Boise State did add. And the fact that it's on ESPN and ESPN2 is cool marketing and branding for Boise State as well. But Jay, we are talking. We're continuing our countdown today. The 25 questions, storylines going into the season with the team. And today we're talking about the coaching staff. And there was some turnover on the coaching staff. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? How do we feel about the new coaches? What positions they're at and where they might help, or if there's any areas where it may hurt them as well. But do want to thank, and Jay, you were out at this event, correct? Were you out there for the barbecuing event?
I was.
Do we know who won? Did we ever find out who?
I don't.
Sent me some new videos and things. Here's our man Roger Carrion.
I'm confident making a prediction. I'm confident making a prediction on who won. With that being said, too, it is a part of their fall kickoff, so I don't think I should spoil it.
Well, they sent me the commercial, and I see some grilling going on in there, but I don't know if they actually told me who won or not.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Then what I will say is the gentleman on your screen, no surprise, appears to know his way around a grill.
Okay. Well,
yes.
Technically the August, I started this video this early, but technically August 1st, I think, is the fall kickoff sale. And so that's when we'll start playing the commercial, I think, next Monday in conjunction with August and fall camp starting. But I did see they've already got it done and edited, and it looks those guys don't get to do much tailgating. They're usually in the facility getting ready, so they got to get out there and cook some burgers and things. Lithia Ford of Boise, check them out. The fall kickoff sales event, some great specials, great deals. Our title sponsor, make sure you support them. Check them out. Lithia Ford of Boise. Maddox Madsen is now with ICCU as well. We're going to be getting their creative and photos and things here in the near future. But Pearson Carmichael also with ICCU. ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out, ICCU, ICCU.com. TacoBellWorks.com, the Nicolason family, S1 Management Group. I know you guys have seen it by now, but made a $1 million donation to Boise State Athletics. Return the favor next time you're looking to take the family out to eat and head to Taco Bell. Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. They've renovated the restaurants. They've revamped the menu. It's not the same Taco Bell as maybe you're used to if you haven't been in there in a while. So check out Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. And we appreciate, again, the SON Management Group and the Nicolason family for their support of Bronco Nation News, and RoePaint.com as well. ROEPaint.com, Andy Rowe and Company, best in the business when it comes to concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting. Hit up our man, Andy Rowe, RoePaint.com for all of your painting needs. All right, Jay, couple new coaches this year, and, there's some mixed reactions, and it's, it's funny. Everyone's kind of like, what'd you do for me lately? And there were some drops and things in the wide receiver position. I know a lot of people loved Matt Miller. But, there was some folks, even going into last year that were a little, not calling for him to be fired, but wanting to see a little more from the wide receiver group, and whether or not that's on the coaches. There's always different reasons for things that happen. But I would say there was a little, for a guy that had a great career here, I saw a little bit of heat coming his way at times for the wide receivers and the lack of development at times. They obviously make a change and bring in Alvis Whitted, but that was a change because Matt Miller got a quote-unquote promotion to be the OC at Washington State in this conference. So he's going to be, playing Boise State as the offensive coordinator.
What do you mean quote-unquote promotion to be the OC at Washington State?
Wasn't he a co-OC here?
Yes.
Wasn't he a co-OC or something? I mean, I think every offensive coach has like 4 titles. So I don't know exactly what his title was.
Shot across the bow. I have a degree from that place. Jeez, man.
It was a promotion.
Quote unquote.
Yes. Well, it's in the same conference, I guess is what I'm saying.
Harry Stewart got a quote unquote promotion in this offseason.
It was in the same conference. He's moving to a different school in this conference, but yes, He goes from the co-OC wide receivers coach to the play caller, the full OC. Yes, it was a promotion for Matt Miller. But the point was he left on his own.
I get what you're saying.
To take a different job. It was not a firing or anything like that. He would have been 100% welcomed back if he wasn't going to leave. Double O'Neill says, I hate losing coaches unless they're bad at their job. But that was one area I know. We obviously have Alvis Whitted coming in as the new wide receivers coach. The secondary, you lose both coaches in the secondary in Demario Warren and also I'm blanking on the old safeties coach, Tyler Stockton.
Yeah.
And he leaves, and then they bring in one guy to coach both. You have, a new tight ends coach coming in as well to take over the tight ends group there. They've restructured some things. So let's start with Matt Miller, though, and wide receivers. And I know that is a big position that everyone is looking for to take a step up. Jay is the wide receivers. Sorry, Jay. Let's see. We lost Jay, by the way. There he is. All right, there he is. He was so mad about my
I was so mad
at Washington State that he just said I'm out of here. But Matt Miller and the wide receivers and Alvis Whitted. And again, what's just your take on switching coaches there, and obviously the wide receiver position is a big one this year that people are going to be watching at. And Alvis Whitted was out there, I think, first day of spring ball wearing cleats and getting after it with the guys, and just a different coaching style and different way of doing things, which sometimes can be a good thing just to refresh the message and some of the drills you do and things like that. But I know Matt Miller did a lot of good things here. And like I said, some fans wanted to, were excited for the change, others not. I mean, anytime you lose one of your greatest players of all time, that leaves. But what's your take on the wide receivers and Coach Whitted and moving on from Matt Miller?
Yeah, I think my take on that is I don't necessarily think like a little bit of a reset's a bad thing now. I mean, Matt was a great player here, a great coach here, gave a lot to this program, awesome, great family. But I think if you look at the wide receiver room over the last couple of years, to really no one's undoing, it's just been, I don't know if it's been as you would have predicted. I would say Latrell Caples had some fine seasons, but a guy that also had to battle through a number of injuries in his career. Chris Marshall, I would say had signs last year where he made, the catch was against App State where he's diving, and it was a big time catch, but then there's the Nevada game. So I don't think that ever really fully materialized the way you'd want it to. Chase Penry, kind of a slow start to his career, then had some big catches, especially on third down last year. Ben Ford got off to an awesome start last season, and then he unfortunately got hurt in the 7th game. I mean, he still led the team in receiving touchdowns despite the fact he missed the last half of the season. Great. And then I think people Cam Bates and Quentin Brown, I think that they're very promising. But, they're underclassmen last year, and I think they just kind of contributed in the manner that you'd expect those guys to contribute. So a year prior, they bring in Cam Camper and has 900 receiving yards. I mean, it would be hard to argue against his production, his season, a very reliable receiver. But I just think overall, that it's just been they need just to get back into a rhythm and a flow and development in that room. I mean, you can go back a couple of years ago. You have Eric McAllister in that room, who was an awesome college football receiver, and then the whole coaching change thing happened, and it's just a complicated story. But he leaves, so I just think finding some stability in that receiver room and developing once again. And I like the guys in that room right now, BJ. I think that they're moving in a really positive direction. Matt even has some influence on that still with some of those guys in that receiver room. So I think that with Alvis Whitted, a guy that's played with Jerry Rice and had an NFL, career that you can sell to college football recruits, that you're going to get the most out of them. I don't know if I want to go as far as saying sometimes change is a good thing, but in this case, I think that it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and I do think it was when everyone found out that Matt Miller was leaving, I think some fans were like, "Oh, good for him. He gets a promotion. He gets to go be an OC. He gets to go."
From that standpoint, yeah,
good for Matt Miller.
Yes,
it's good, but also fresh blood. Maybe not the worst thing either to come into the wide receiver group. Both can kind of be true because he was not going to be fired. He was 100% coming back, and there was no. I think that they had a lot of confidence in him and the receivers, and like I said, you can blame him. But there was some other things that happened with a lot of that wasn't his fault. But there were a lot of drops last year. I mean, I don't is that straight on the wide receivers coach because they're not doing the jugs drill enough? Is that just you brought in a couple of guys that can't, But they were statistically well below average and had a lot more drops than they had. I think the most drops in the conference last year from the wide receivers group. So that was one area that I know that But I think it was kind of good for him. Happy for him. He gets to go out and get a promotion and go call plays and take the next step in his career. And we get some fresh blood in here. I think fans felt like that was how they thought about it. Miller was okay. Not my fave. The stable says, Sky Ship says after the media days interviews, sounds like the wide receiver room last year was a total mess. I'm super excited. Coach Alvis is here to get things back on track. I'm not sure if I'd go that far. But there was some talk about selfishness and stuff. And then that I think people can put 2 and 2 together with at least one of the receivers on that group last year. But Miller needed to go. Again, I think both can be true, but I do think, Alvis Whitted coming in with a new mindset, new drills, some new things is probably not bad for anybody.
Kind of hard to argue any of that. I do think that both can be true. I'm excited for Matt. He gets to go, call plays for a Pac-12 offense with, one of his good friends, a guy he used to play with in Kirby Moore. I mean, it sounds like an awesome situation for him. And if we're also being honest, Nate Potter was promoted to offensive coordinator when it came time to pick and choose that position. And knowing how much Nate loves it here, that's in terms of Matt's development, if he wants to call plays, he probably did what he had to do. And that meant leaving a place that he loved and a city that he loved and his family loved so much. And so I wish him and everybody up there the best of luck, and hopefully they have their own success up there.
Sky says none of the wide receivers are going to storm off the field middle of the game upset with targets under Coach Elvis Reese. We don't know that.
We don't know that. All I'll say now, though, is having an idea of the characters in that room. I don't think they have anybody that would do that. I think that removing, if I'm being honest, some of those distractions. There were practices that we would go to last summer or last fall camp, and maybe at times some of them did I don't want to go as far as saying counterproductive, but there were distractions in terms of guys chirping at each other, which some of that is natural fall camp, one-on-one. DBs have their own mindset, some of that's natural, but there were also times where maybe it went, a little too far and was too much of a distraction. So I talked about this with Spencer, actually, man. I think between spring ball, summer, media day, which was awesome, where we get 10 guys, I probably have interviewed upwards of 35 guys. And, man, their character, at least in interviews, really shines. And I don't think it's a mistake. I think that there's some noticeably good character on this team that's going to make this team, this season, these players a lot of fun to cover and watch over these next few months.
A lot of people commented on that on the next day after the media days, just how well spoken all the players were and everything.
I was waiting for a bad interview, BJ.
Which I said on the show too. Typically with basketball as well, and football, there's 100 guys in the team. I get it, but there is a kind of, I know they always say our kind of guy, whatever. But you typically don't find a lot of athletes at Boise State that come in that aren't well spoken, aren't kids.
Here's
and
the
I'm
deal.
not going. We don't hang out with these kids outside the facility in terms of character and all that. I don't think it's fair to. We don't know anything about them outside of the 10 minutes we get to talk to them. But when we get them in front of a camera, or we get those 10 minutes, you get more time with them, obviously, seeing them traveling and just being around the program more than I do. But certainly it seems like they, for the most part, you have your occasional bad apples, but for the most part, they get kids that do a very fine job representing, and certainly that leadership group in those interviews the other day, I would say that was the case.
I probably got watched a little bit on my end over here, but as we all know in past, there's times where we submit interview requests and certain individuals are put on hold. Now, sometimes it's because they're young. Sometimes it's because they've never done an interview, but other times it's because they're worried about what somebody might say. And that's just the honest truth. And so far, I don't know who falls into that category on this team this year. And for me, it wasn't only the fact that we interview guys all the time. All 10 last week carried a conversation. It wasn't like it was just answer this football question. It was all 10 carried a conversation, which again, I think is pretty unique. No awkward moments. It was a lot of fun. And I think that these guys are going to be very, very likable. Even Cam Bates in that wide receiver room, man. I asked him what he wanted to improve on this year. What would you? I'm putting you on the spot here. What do you think Cam Bates would say?
Well, I would hope drops is one of them.
It was literally, he had attacked it right off the top, which I was just like, it kind of blew me away a little bit. He's I had too many drops last year. It's my job to clean that up.
He doesn't drop that catch against Fresno State, they win that game.
A lot of the season changes potentially with that game. There was a lot of ifs and whats and all that in that Fresno State game.
If your backup quarterback has to come in, but you're already winning the game, or you have more momentum, or who knows if Alex even gets hurt because the next play doesn't happen if they score on that. I mean, who knows? But
I think this is a team that's built on running the football, and they have made that. I mean, they continue to reiterate that. So the days of 2,000-yard wide receivers, or even Cedric Wilson going out and getting 1,500, even Thomas Spurbeck's career, where a 1,200 and a 1,400-yard season. I don't know if those are like realistic expectations or numbers, considering what they want to do on the offensive side of the football this year and every year. They want to run the football. Now you have to have a passing game that can offset that or complement it, which I think they put themselves in the position to do. I think the thing that excites me about this specific wide receiver group is I think you're going to, I'm sure our boy Nathan Carroll knows the stat somewhere about, how many times they operated with 2-3 tight ends and things like that last year. I think that they have so many playmakers, potential playmakers at wide receiver this year, where it's going to be hard to do that as much as maybe they've done it in the past, just because you feel like you might have some more capable guys at the wide receiver position that can provide those dynamic playmaking, game-changing type of plays, where it's not only catching the ball, it's also doing a little something after you catch the ball, which I know is a big emphasis for whether it be, Quentin Brown or Cam Bates or Nitro Wright, like all those guys. And then even like a Cumonte Williams, who maybe I'm going down wrong, veering a little too far off the path here, BJ, but he's got size. They just have some versatility in that room where I think that they're going to put more wide receivers or have the ability to put more wide receivers on the field this year.
Tequila Gus hated it. Hate to say it, but Miller needed to go. Outside of Shakir, I think you can argue the group largely underperformed consistently. Miller was a substitute teacher that everyone loves, but he just can't discipline his class. I don't think that's totally fair. Well, either way, new wide receivers coach, and I think it's an interesting timing too. It kind of similar to what we're going to talk about next from the defensive backs, Jay, but new, a lot of, new faces in the wide receiver group with a new coach. So you bring in a new coach with a lot of new guys fighting for playing time and things, probably a nice time to have that happen. So we have wide receivers as a big position, and then the other one obviously is the defensive backs as well. Let's go there and talk about the defensive backs. But first, I want to thank our man Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, Matt's your guy, folks. Check him out, Bauscher Real Estate. BauscherRealEstate.com. We bought and sold our home using Matt and his team, and we loved it, and you should as well. 252-9877. Hey, Jackson's can still save you at $32 at Roaring Springs. Just buy 2 Coca-Cola products. Save up to $32 at Jackson's or Roaring Springs. And Jackson's, Extra Mile by Jackson's, they also have that 99-cent bigger fountain drink going on right now when you use that Let's Go Rewards app. We mentioned the Blue and Orange Store. Baseball on the Blue. You can get all their new memorabilia, whether it's for this weekend's games, whether it's for the 40th anniversary of the Blue and these jackets, whether it's one of their 14,000 hats on the hat wall there. They got the location down at Boise State. They got the location out there at the mall. Or you can order anywhere in the world online at the Blue and Orange Store. Hey, Signature Roofing, if you're looking for a new roof, maybe a repair to your roof, you want an estimate, an inspection, they got you covered. All your roofing needs. Signature Roofing, covering our community one roof at a time. They've been around for 2+ decades building roofs and helping folks in the Treasure Valley. So Signature Roofing, again, online, mysignatureroofing.com. And if you're looking for a new fence, Element Fencing has you covered. 631-2790, Element Fencing, decks, pergolas. They can do it all. Brady and his staff, 25+ years in the fencing business, ready to help you build that perfect project from the ground up. Element Fencing. Check them out, elementfencing.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states. And you owner and a family that live right here in the Treasure Valley and support the local community and local teams. And if you just want to support local, that would be Ridley's Family Markets. Again, check them out, shopridleys.com. All right, Jay, it's time for our 40 and 40 entry. We will get to the defensive backs, and we will get to the hiring of Terrence Brown here in just a moment. But we are doing our 40 and 40. We're asking folks to submit 40 seconds or less, them giving us their memory of the blue turf and their favorite memory of the blue. And we're giving away that Gene Blameyer autographed shadow box courtesy of collectbsu.com. So just check out collectbsu.com, all your official pieces of the blue turf. And also, you can buy there, Jay, today's memory from our man Luis, a piece of the goalpost that was torn down in 2024. You can actually buy a shadow box that has a cut off piece of the goalpost on there. You can go buy that at collectbsu.com. But let's get to our man Luis and his memory from favorite memory in 40 years of the blue turf.
What's up, Bronco Nation? What's up, BJ Rans? By the way, I don't even care if I win or not. I'm just here to show and share an experience with y'all. And anyways, my favorite memory of the blue was when we rushed the field in 2024 right after the Mountain West Championship game against UNLV. Genty's last year on the blue. That was a really good year. I helped tear down that goalpost, man. It was a good time. It took us like 5 hours, as y'all remember. But yeah, that was my favorite memory of the blue. Go Broncos.
All right, our man Luis with his memory, Jay. Appreciate Luis. I know he's watching. Thank you for sending that in. That's one that I know a lot of people have, and I'll put some more video up here while we're talking, Jay. But that was an epic night. I mean, I think a lot of people, this is going to be their favorite memory of the blue. It was one of the most incredible nights in the history of the blue with the big noon kickoff there and the way it went and just the hype of Ashton Genty and that big run he had. The place was just shaking. You had Post Malone randomly hanging out, there watching the game, and then just everyone storms the field, and it took forever, and they finally get the goalpost torn down. But I mean, look at this. There's about 20 guys just climbing that thing right now. I don't know your memories of that night, Jay, but it was certainly one that'll live in Boise State history for a long time.
That was such a special night, man. Like, I can't – I honestly can't think of a more magical night on the blue. It was – insane. I don't even know how it's ever topped. I mean, you have a Heisman Trophy finalist leading Boise State to the college football playoff for the first time ever, a Mountain West Conference championship going back to back. It was amazing, as you said. And then, like, every time you looked at your phone, something else cool was happening. You're like, oh, Post Malone's here, and he's got a Boise State basketball jersey. It's just like, wait, where is he, or how did he get here? And then the goalpost, like, I don't know about you, but there was a moment in time where I just stood and watched the fans just crank on that thing, knowing how that thing was cemented into the ground and that it wasn't actually going to give away from the ground, but they were able to yank on that thing long enough where basically just disintegrated.
Yes. And there was a time there where I thought, they're not going to get it. It ain't going to come. It was it literally was 30 points. They were about to start kicking people off the field.
Yeah.
I give those guys a lot of credit, but finally, here's the moment. There it is, Jay.
Oh, it was just a magical night, man. And then what I loved afterwards is, so obviously they carried it out and they threw it in the river, and then there's more stories about what happened with the goalpost after that. But eventually, once the stadium emptied, all the players were coming back out with their families, sitting on the broken part of the goalpost, taking pictures with it, which I thought was also just an awesome memory.
And that was cool because social media was going crazy at tracking where the goalpost was, and it got thrown in there's photos from a bridge of it in the river, and then there's photos of Post Malone signing it on 6th Street. And I mean, it was that was another whole thing.
December 2024 was magical, man. It was magical. We saw the best college football player that I will probably personally ever see in my lifetime in Ashton Genty. I hope we get another one, but it's probably a little ridiculous to think that you might. And then we go from that to a week later, we're in New York at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And then a few weeks after that, we're in Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl. I mean,
you and I had a hell of a run there, man.
December 2024 was one for the freaking books, man.
Was the Heisman the very next weekend? It might have been.
I think it was a pretty tight turnaround. I mean, I think it was
the very next weekend.
Yeah.
It might have been. Yeah. Yeah, that was just epic. And Luis, appreciate you for sending in that memory. That's one that I think a lot of people have a hard time topping. But again, collectbsu.com. Check it out for all your Boise State officially licensed merchandise. And you can, Jay, purchase an actual piece of that goalpost there. So get your memories in. Just email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. I got one or two in there, but we want to make sure we have one to play every day. So get yours in now. Rains@bronconationnews.com. 40 seconds or less. You don't need to be as cool as Luis with the editing and everything. Just tell us, just put yourself on camera. Tell us your favorite memory in 40 seconds, and we'll draw a name at the end and give out that Gene Blameyer shadow box. But always fun talking memories and talking Boise State. And again, check out collectbsu.com for all that officially licensed merchandise there. All right, Terrence Brown, Jay, comes in as the the new coach there on the secondary, and he's going to coach both of them. They're in the same room. Just tell us your thoughts on that and how that all obviously is going to work. And, DJ Killings went from graduate assistant to technically cornerbacks coach as well, which hasn't gotten a lot of talk, but Terrence Brown is overseeing the whole room. They're in one meeting room and doing all that together. I think people like Tyler Stockton. I think he was a guy that got some positive reviews for what he did in his short couple of years here. Whole different story with DeMario Warren, the cornerbacks coach. He was obviously a guy that was, had some struggles on special teams. The cornerbacks at times struggled. I would think he was a guy, Jay, that fairly or unfairly, got some criticism at times, DeMario Warren. So that was another one that I think maybe fans saw and thought, okay, good for him. New opportunity. Okay, good for us to get somebody new in here. I think a lot of fans felt like that. But what do you make of the changes in the secondary?
Overall, I want to you brought up like DJ Killings getting promoted to being the cornerbacks coach, because it looks like TB's overseeing that whole group. But to Justin Udy now as the tight ends coach, they did some internal shuffling on the staff that typically in the past somebody leaves and you plug and play, and that's just kind of the way that it has always been. But I think I like how they got a little creative with how they're doing it. And again, it goes back when we talk about Nate Potter. Like, Nate Potter's your offensive coordinator now, and then you have a position coach in Justin Udy. So I like some of the things that they did when it came to how they approached the coaching staff this year. That being said, man, like, TB has a tremendous track record. He's got an awesome presence, an unmatched energy about him. It's funny because you talk to him when he's such a nice guy, and then you see him on, during practice, and man, there is a level of accountability that he just, that he sets the standard there and doesn't accept anything less. And it seemed like every day during spring ball, he brought the same energy that day in and day out. And you could just notice like that level of accountability. And so without even trying to compare him to anybody else or the past or whatever, I think he's a great fit on this staff. And as you mentioned with the wide receiver group, what better time than now when you're kind of turning over that room a little bit? It's the same with the defensive backs room. Yes, they are returning some guys, no doubt about it. I mean, Sherrod Smith is I know he's going to have to go out and win a starting job at cornerback, but he seems like he's in a good position to do that. And heck, the same I'd say with Jaden Mickey on the other.
There was a question about Sherrod Smith as well, and there I'm trying
to
find it.
I just think like what better time than now to you have obviously Ty Benefield left to go to another school, Amarion McCoy, Jeremiah Irby, left school to pursue their dreams at the next level. So there's some turnover back there. Zion Washington obviously gone. He's in the NFL now. It just seems like a convenient time to do that and find a new message.
What are your thoughts on Shenander saying Sherrod is 100% in the summer workouts? Is this the deepest secondary in recent memory? It's funny how prisoner of the moment we can be sometimes with, but
totally. I will say this though, like I think he's a good example. I mean, like if you asked me a couple years ago, and I believe we're on the same page here, BJ, with a guy like Franklin Johnson Jr. I mean, this was 2 fall camps ago where, I mean, he kind of routinely showed up and made plays, and you wondered how he was going to factor into the big picture. And now once those guys graduate in front of him, he's a kind of natural replacement. And I'm not saying he can't be, because he certainly can be, by the way. But like, it's just not a foregone conclusion. And so I do think that they have found a way to complement what they have in the program. They went out, they found some guys that really fit culturally that they added to the program. And I do think that there is kind of like a sneaky, there's more depth to the defense, and it's going to kind of be sneaky. And we got to find out about these guys during fall camp. But like when it comes, and I think can't remember who I was talking to about this. I still think like starting level talent is probably pretty similar. But for me, what I think is different is that you have more capable bodies that you feel like you can rotate in. Keep your starters fresh, which will be nice. And then if something does go wrong, because it is football, and you do need your backups at some point in time, I just don't think there's going to be a significant drop off this year.
So it becomes a negative towards the other people. I get it, but are we saying we believe it's a net positive? Not taking nothing away from who left. They all left on their own, took different opportunities, but are we saying basically wide receivers, defensive back? I mean, if you want to do it, I don't know if you want to do each one by themselves, but as a whole, the coaches they left, the coaches they added, should fans feel pretty good about where things sit?
I don't know why you wouldn't. It's college football. And if you ask the people at BYU and Washington State, they'd say the same darn thing there. But I like the guys that Boise State brought in. I think that Alvis Woodard is a great addition. I think that Terrence Brown is a great addition. I think another part of this puzzle that he's not necessarily a new guy, but an elevated spot on staff. You know, you have a guy like Frank Miley that's serving as your D-line coach, and I know that we're used to him and it's been a minute now, but like I said, it just feels like over this last year or so that all the pieces are kind of falling into place, and Spencer, even himself, knows how he wants to structure his assistant coaching staff to hopefully get the most out of them and his players.
Well, Zach Hill got a little elevated role as well, and we mentioned Justin Udi now taking over as tight ends coach. That's freeing up, Potter. So I think some of the maybe not necessarily new folks. We mentioned the graduate assistant going to coach the corners, but it's a little restructuring of some of the guys that are already here, which is going to make a difference as well.
Yeah, and then you look at and I know the question today was talking about the new assistants, BJ, but you look back at some of the guys that are here. Tim Keene's been a home run in my book. I mean, they've found a way to even in season to plug and play and still have a pretty high level of effort these last couple of years. He's put a guy in the NFL, obviously, in Cage Casey, and he'll probably do the same with somebody off this current offensive line. He's done a great job. James Montgomery, phenomenal running back coach. Like, I just think it's almost like some of the position battles we talk about when you bring in some of this, a breath of fresh air, if you will, and you complement them with the guys that have done it at a high level in that building already. I think that it's exciting.
24.5-point dogs to Oregon.
I don't know what else you'd expect. You're going to Oregon. I think there were 3 touchdown underdogs last year.
4-0 ATS against Oregon. 3-0 straight up. 4-0 against the spread.
I mean, you're going to Oregon.
Would you feel good though if they lost by 24? I mean, they quote unquote cover, but if they lose 45-21 or something, I mean, is that you feel good about that if you're a Boise State fan? I don't know. 45-21, if that was a score. I don't know.
Late touchdown for the Ducks?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess it depends how but I'll tell you, man.
It depends on how you get there.
To it. I know you got back on track with the Bronco Studios shows yesterday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they are going to give us a tour. I don't know if you've been through there much recently, but I've heard the inside is just unbelievable, and looking forward to seeing that tomorrow, and then seeing it Friday when it's open for Banana Ball. But that's going to be cool tomorrow, seeing that tour of the North End Zone, and then a week from, I guess yesterday is when tomorrow, Monday, I guess Spencer's doing a press conference, and then a week from tomorrow is the first practice. So I know we're pretty much back up and rolling, and I know Bronco Studios is back up and rolling as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see the new media area as well, where we will be doing our weekly interviews.
Oh, the little recruiting area they're turning into that or something?
Yeah, but it's big time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just wait.
All right.
Yeah, no more. Let's just say this: no more dark press conference interviews.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I kind of like the. Is that where the weekly ones will be too, with or not? Because I kind of like. I'm sure the coaches love going to get their lunch and having us just kind of bother them while they're trying to eat their food. But
I don't know the extent. I think the plan is to use it for our main press conferences. But
okay.
Mr.
And it's got a screen behind it or something, or
yes, it's it's next level.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna get lost in looking at how cool everything is and forget to ask questions there, BJ.
Nice. They're just.
I hope I'm not hyping it up too much, but I got a chance to walk over there last Friday and get a quick little glimpse of it. And it wasn't even all done yet, but it's for somebody that values good lighting and stuff like that. I'm not going to have to be cranking the ISO or anything on the FX3. It's going to be perfect.
Well, what else on Bronco Studios? I know you were back with a live show yesterday. Are we back on the 3 times a week here?
We are back to the normal cadence there, Mr. Rains. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live at 4 o'clock inside Bronco Studios. Working on our next location that maybe we can move our set over to also maybe have some better lighting and things like that. But that's all a part of the future. Right now, we're just glad to be back up and running. But yesterday, I had a chance to catch up with Will Voigt, new basketball coach for Boise State. Great dude, as you know, and what a journey it's been for him. He's been all over the globe, and now he's coaching in Boise, so he can be near his kids, and it's great. So, and then Sophie Schmatz from the Boise State women's soccer team. She's arguably one of, if not their best player, and that team's loaded. BJ, like it's going to be a fun soccer season for Jim Thomas's crew.
They want about the podium.
I don't
remember that controversy with Brian Harsin too. I got an email one time from a guy that called it a podium or a lectern, and I had tweeted something about it, and Brian Harsin saw my tweet and started his press conference saying, "Well, is this a podium or a lectern?" Podium, I think you have to be up on I don't think it's a podium. I think podium is where you step up onto something.
Right. That was the whole argument. So I think I think it is a lectern. I don't know the answer to that one though. There are decisions that are made above my pay grade, and I just get to show up and witness. But
I do appreciate Spencer, and I'm sure you were involved in the planning of when practice starts, Jay. Each morning, but doing it at 10 o'clock works nicely for the 9 a.m. BNN show. So we've got the Starlink now, Jay. So we'll be down there with hopefully reliable quality internet, and we'll be live. Down there at BSU now a couple times a week during fall camp, and then we'll do our show from 9 to 9:45, and then head in for practice at 10. So the timing actually works out pretty well for us.
Mm-hmm. Nobody asked me a word, but I will take it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it had absolutely zero to do with what helps out, Jay or the media. But we got lucky this year. I think last year it started at 8:30 or something sometimes, or 9:15, 9:20. There was just a weird.
In all honesty, that in itself will be a question that I'll ask. One of us probably ask Spencer Danielson. They have made some slight adjustments.
A little later, 10 o'clock. Yeah, and it's not as many back-to-back days either, at least for media stuff. It's a lot of every other day type stuff. But they've spread out they let you start a little earlier, I guess, but it's the same number of practices. So there's just a few more off days built in there. But I think it's going to be nice, and looking forward to getting down there and having the content. And make sure you're subscribing, following Jay on Bronco Studios, follow their YouTube channel, and make sure you're following our stuff as well. Jay, appreciate you for jumping on, and we'll be watching tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Folks can go back and watch the old show there as well, but from yesterday. But appreciate you, and we will see you for the tour of the North End Zone tomorrow morning.
Sounds good, bud.
All right, thanks, Jay. Jay Tust, appreciate him for jumping on. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com. Follow all the social media channels. Go read Nathan's story, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. By the way, Jeff Sanders will join us, Boise Open, on tomorrow's show. They have a unique, cool tie to a former Boise State golfer, getting in on the sponsors exemption for the Boise Open coming up, and so a local product as well. So we'll talk a little Boise Open, a little Boise State golf on tomorrow's show. Bill Connolly from ESPN, the SP Plus rankings, will join us tomorrow as well to break down some of his thoughts on Boise State going into the season. So fun show planned tomorrow. Then we'll have the North End Zone tour as well. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. Go subscribe. Go support the sponsors. And we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live. Bronco Nation News.